Will Disney still be in Florida for your next visit? Stay tuned, we'll tell you more.
Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to WorkHARDaholics. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, and today, first things first, I just want to say hello. I feel like it's been a while since we've recorded. We had some batched, we had some all together, taking a few vacations, we're doing exactly what you all are doing, enjoying the lovely, amazingly hot weather. Okay, but we're back. And so there are a lot of things that are happening. And so I want to make sure that you are aware, educated, informed, and ready to make the right decisions for you, your family, and of course, your business. So, first things first, happy belated birthday to me. Thank you all very much for those who were a part of my birthday book signing. And so, super excited about that. The book is still, there's some processing still going on, but soon enough, you can find it on Amazon. The book is Know Your Value, Know Your Worth. And it all ties back into a webinar, a seminar, a series that I did before. And the real bottom line is this: we've talked about this before. So, as an employee, we often go into the workplace and we kind of take whatever is handed to us. And it's time out for that. As an entrepreneur, we're guessing about what we should be paid, right? And then we do some things like I teach about some of the steps and the ways that you can figure out what you should be charging. But then sometimes I'm working with some of you. I'm like, oh, okay, well, according to this, here's your industry standard. You're either the Walmart or the Lord and Taylor, right? In some cases, some of you are the Dollar Tree, although they've increased their prices as well, or you're at a much higher end, and then you figure that out, and then you're afraid to charge what you should be charging based off of what type of provider you're going to be in your industry and in your market. And part of that's because of I want to say something else, but it's fear. You're afraid that people are going to be like, "Oh, you're not worth that," or "Oh, that's too much," or "Oh, they're going to walk away." But the thing that you have to know is, if it's your client, it's your client. And frankly, if you're like I am, I don't have time for all the people who could potentially be clients. I actually don't even, I'm not going to lie. I ignore my business phone. I ignore all kinds of things because you get to a certain point where people are constantly coming. And then you have to vet, and you have to determine, like, is this the client that I want to keep? Or sometimes these opportunities come up and you're like, oh, that's good money. But then you're working with a horrible person. What's the point of being an entrepreneur if you can't determine who you want to work with? Right? Beggars can't be choosers, but you shouldn't be begging. I mean, that's really the bottom line of it. So, right now, especially if you're just getting started, I understand going after the cash cow, right? Going after the thing that makes money. I understand sucking it up a little bit to deal with the people who have the access and the influence. But there has to come a point in your career, in your business, where you're like, enough is enough. And I'm only working with people that I want to work with, period. So when I talk about the book, Know Your Value, Know Your Worth, part of the situation for a lot of you is you don't understand who you are and what you bring to the table. Like you're not, some of you aren't acting authentically, and that's why it's hard for you to show up in an authentic fashion. But I am super confident about myself, green hair and all, about what I offer, what I bring to the table. And so I'm okay with my rates. As a matter of fact, I keep saying I'm going to raise them in all honesty. I am not charging enough. Based off of my skill set, my knowledge base, my resources, my connections, I am not charging enough. How many of you all can say that? Probably most of you. But are you not charging enough because you made a decision? Like I am making a conscious decision, at least for the next few years, maybe, at least for the next two or so. I want to have a greater impact in communities and individuals who might not have the money to pay me my hourly rate. So I am looking to make a bigger impact. And so I'm okay with pulling back on my rates for now, at least for some. That's not for everyone, but for some. Right. So for me, that's intentional. I'm perfectly aware of what I'm worth. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not scared to represent that. But for some of you, it really comes down to like, who's going to pay me $5,000? Well, the person who knows what you're worth and that you're going to give an impact that's going to give them that they're going to 10x that $5,000 or more. Right. So the question for you is maybe it's time for you to drink your own Kool-Aid. Maybe it's time for you to really dig in and see here's what I'm offering, here's the results. I'm worth this, and don't take less. So, I think in one of the other books that I had, I talk about the fact that if you say that you're the Rolls Royce, then you don't have paper cups. It's such a simple thing to know and recognize. If you say you're high end, then you don't have cheap pens and cheap products and cheap etc. You have to make sure that you're representing the brand of who you say you're going to be. Okay, that was just cracking the surface. We're going to go to a commercial break in just a moment. But once again, super excited that maybe by the time you all see this, the book will be available. But if not, remind me and we'll make sure you know more about that. But that's Know Your Value and Know Your Worth. And I'm hoping that each of you will know just that. Know what you offer the world, know what you bring, and make sure that they pay you for it. All right. We'll see you in just a moment after this commercial break.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
WorkHARDaholic. Looking for resources to start, build, or level up your business? Want to know what motivates your favorite entrepreneur? Did you miss the last show? No worries. Check out and subscribe to the WorkHARDaholic YouTube channel. See behind the scenes. Hear the extended version of interviews. Catch one of our trainings. Missed the show? No worries. Like, share, subscribe our YouTube channel at WorkHARDaholic, and happy entrepreneuring.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. All right. So for those of you who don't know, I recently just got back from Florida. So that might be why I have a little bit of Disney on the mind. But there has been a lot of news about Disney World. I always get them confused. Disney World is Florida. Disneyland is California for now. So here's what's been happening. So one, I want to go back a second before I move forward. We had a show, I think maybe a few weeks ago, and we were talking about, it might have been a month ago for all that I know. I have to go back and check. But we were talking about the impact of politics on your business, right? So this is not a political show. I'm not here to go, are you are Republican, Democrat, or independent? That's not where we are. But each political party has their own policies and thought processes when it comes to finance, money, investment, and your business, right? And so some of the policies are pro business, some of them are not. And so it's important for you to recognize and know what's out there, what's available, right? And so if there are grants available, you want to know. So I would say in particular, we're not getting political. I'm just going by from my recollection. I have seen more grants for business owners under Biden, but I saw more pro high money makers under Trump, which makes sense, right? So every different politician has different theories about how money should happen. Like, I'm kind of excited that there's a movie out about Ronald Reagan. Anyone else notice that? I, I'm kind of excited to see what on earth it's about because one of those financial policies was Reaganomics. The geeky me is coming out. Don't worry, I'm going to come back. And so Reagan had a whole concept of the trickle down theory when it came to money. Like if you take care of the top, it'll trickle down to the bottom. And then there are others who are like, no, that never works. It never makes it all the way down. But here's the thing. So Reagan did a bunch of things when it came to economics, but he was out of office before most of it was put in place. So no one ever really figured out whether or not he was successful. You gotta love it. It's like monopoly money with an entire country. I just think it's absolutely fascinating. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. So now there's a lot that's happening with regards to politics. We talked before because I had just gone down to the General Assembly here in Virginia and got a chance to sit down with some of our legislators and talk about the policy ahead and things you need to be aware. It's not enough to be like, oh, it'll be okay. No, it won't. Okay. So with that in mind, I've really been fascinated by the whole Governor DeSantis and Disney, right? Because Disney, we think happy thoughts. We think about Cinderella and Snow White and like fun, happy thoughts. We don't think lawsuits and complications. Although I know a few weeks ago we also talked about the young lady who got fired. I think she was Cinderella, Snow White. Either way, she got fired for her social media profile because they protect their brand, people. So with that in mind, so what's happening now is that the heads of Disney and the governor of Florida have been going back and forth in this bit of a battle. And so some of it are political, I don't know why I don't know how to say that, but we're gonna work that out. So some of it there have been lots of different policies that have happened, right? And so the governor has said, this is how we're gonna do it, this is what's happening. And Disney's been like, no. So some of it has been morality based, thank you. And then other parts of it have been economic based, right? So I'm going to skip the morality piece because you can't legislate morality. But let's talk about the economic piece. So what's happened is that Governor DeSantis has, I talked about this once before, and I want to calmly tell you this. So, okay, so let me very quickly and very calmly tell you this so that I don't say it too fast. Living in a city where we have a theme park, a lot of times you don't realize that legislation often caters to that theme park, depending on how much money they bring in tax dollars, etc. So I'm in Richmond, Virginia, as I think I mentioned before, in the United States. We have Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens is down the road. And so we used to have what they called the Kings Dominion law. And so the King's Dominion law was, and no one realized that's why this was, but our schools were not allowed to go into session until after Labor Day. And we're just in small Richmond, Virginia. And so here was a law that was catered to our local theme park that our schools could not be in session until after Labor Day. And so that law was recently repealed, and people are only just learning that that ruling was made for King's Dominion. And so now we have all these school systems that are trying to figure out, are they going to be all year round? Are they going back in July? Are they going back in August? It's kind of messy, but that's the reason why. So this law has been on the books basically as long as I've been alive or close. So if you can imagine that for sleepy Richmond, Virginia, What do you think the impact is in Florida, where Disney is got to be the number one cause for tourism in Florida, as far as hiring employees, entertainment fun. Disney is at the center of so many things for there only to be 2 locations. They're doing a lot, and they're headquartered out of, at least they're currently headquartered out of Central Florida. So DeSantis and all these different regulations has taken away a lot of the privileges that Disney had, and so, or has been attacking them. And so Disney has been fighting back. It's a small word after all, but not when it comes to their money. So a lot of this has been going on. And so at this point, there has been a bit of an alliance. And so Governor DeSantis, the Walt Disney World, and there's another party, are actually working together to create a project. I'll make sure I get the numbers right. It's either, I think it's $7 billion. So they're looking to do an entirely new project in the area. I think it's $7 billion. I think it's $7 billion, not 17. I think it's $7 billion. So nope, sorry. That's why you had to check your numbers. 17 billion. Excuse me. Big difference. So they're still working together to make that happen. But in the meantime, Disney has very quietly started to decentralize some of their products. So one of the things they're known for, as an example, one of the things they're known for is Joffrey's coffee. And so there are certain things you could only ever buy at Disney in Central Florida, not even California, at Disney. And now they have opened up some of their distribution channels. So like you can find Joffrey's in other locations other than Florida. And so there's some other things that have been indicating that Disney is kind of opening up their options on where they can host their operations so that it doesn't have to be Florida. They state that they're not looking to move the Magic Kingdom, but they aren't denying the fact that they are looking at other locations for their headquarters. So it might be their headquarters is someplace else and the Magic Kingdom is still in Florida, or they might be looking for a new home. We shall see. We just make sure you're aware and updated. But this is the impact of politics and business. So you as an entrepreneur, don't take it lightly. Don't sleep on it. Be aware of the policies, the laws, the procedures that are happening and that impact you in particular, because it could be you next time around looking for a new home. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina. where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then. Got a question about your small business? Trying to figure out what to do to start a business? Are you a C-suite executive trying to figure out some leadership tools and resources that you need? Well, we've got answers for you. Submit your questions, concerns, thoughts to admin@WorkHARDaholics.com. That's WorkHARDaholics.com. And you might hear your question, or at least the answer to it, on our next episode.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, I don't know about you all, but if you can't enjoy what you do, then why are you doing it? I'm just saying. So, or better yet, if you can't enjoy what you do, it's time for you to figure out how you can do something else. All right. And so, yeah, I just had a little laughing break. But part of what you should be looking for in life in general, all right? I love the fact we were just having a conversation about scheduling. And I love the fact that I can say, well, I don't work on Fridays. So my Fridays are open. So if I need to squeeze in something, I can because I don't do that. Now, I will also admit to you that even when I worked for someone else, I have always been like half entrepreneur, even when I was I've always had side hustles, something happening with my business, no matter what. So even when I worked for someone else and I was saying, hey, no Fridays, part of that is the confidence and knowing that I can have income whether I work for you or not. And for some of you, there's this like great fear about where's the money going to come from? How am I going to make it? How am I going to survive? And there are, amongst a lot of you, there are some brilliant ideas and you don't know what to do with them. Well, I have got something to share with you all. Okay. So normally we don't sell a lot on the show, right? We tell you, we share with you a lot of resources, share with you a lot of information, but I feel like I told you about the book earlier, and now I'm going to tell you about something else that I'm working on. And why? Because I want you all to level up. I need you all to do more than what you're doing. I need you to be successful and confident and recognize that your environment is changing. All right. We haven't dug in and talked about inflation and crashes and everything else, but all these things are happening. I need you to know that you have some way to take care of you and your family, and hopefully some way for you to be able to have income that doesn't cause you migraines every day because you have to go in and deal with those people. All right. If you haven't heard me say it before, I don't work with people that I don't want to. If I don't want to, I don't want to. And I don't have to justify it. I can just say, I don't want to work with you. I can just say no. Do you all have that luxury? I hope you do, but I know that most of you don't. So the tool that I want to share with you all is something that I've only recently come out with. So this is how it works for me. Birthdays are when I normally like reset. And so I've had an entire life reset happening. It's very exciting. So when I tell you to jump into the deep, you're not on your own. You're not alone. I am constantly reassessing where my life is and making the changes that fit who I want to be and where I want to go. So I want you to be able to do the same. So what I have developed, and I'm sure it's not rocket science, it's just that you get me, and that's something you don't get every day. All right. So what we have created is called Entrepreneur Exchange. All right. There's a Facebook group, there's a community. And so this is all relatively new. It doesn't even kick off yet. I think it's August is when it kicks off. But I'm telling you now because this is not fake scarcity. I'm only dealing with a certain amount of people, especially in the beta as it gets going. And then maybe 3 months from now, 6 months from now, maybe a year, depending, we'll invite other people in. So don't say I didn't tell you. Please don't ask me about getting in when it's closed, because it'll be closed. I don't want there to be any hard feelings here. Okay. So the deal is it's called Entrepreneur Academy. And so what happens is that love the community where you can share with other entrepreneurs or wantrepreneurs, and you get to share experiences, things that you've dealt with. You all know what it's like. You're out here and you're going, well, should I do this? And you don't have anybody to ask or talk to about it. Here's your community. Or you're going, oh my God, I just got this contract. Here's your community. So here's where you'll be able to share with like-minded individuals. I don't know about you, but it's hard to talk to someone about a business idea when they can't see past 9 to 5. Like, they're so fixated on the risk, where for a lot of us, the risk is such a normal part of who we are that we're not sitting there fixated on it. And so you can't even share with them about the opportunity because they're too busy going, oh my God, you could be working for so-and-so, and what happens to this? You never get to the joy of being like, oh my God, I had this idea and this is what happened. This was the end result. Leave that community. Here's your new one. All right. So the community alone, I think, is worth it, in all honesty. But beyond that, I'll be posting resources, information, access to different things that I think are important, that I think you should know about. So I do all of my networking for my people. I tell people all the time, I am an introvert. So I network so that I can share resources. So that's part of it. And then at present, once a week, I come on and do either a live Q&A. So throughout the week, if you've been asking questions and you haven't gotten resolution, it's out there. I will be answering those questions once a week, 30, 45 minutes. It might go up to an hour. You know how I am. My time, I love to share, especially with my people who are doing something with that time. So that'll be a part of it. And then I'm not sure how often I'll do seminars and sessions. It might be once a month. It could end up being, every other week. We'll see how that feels. And here's the beauty of being a part of the Entrepreneur Exchange a little early on, is because it's the beta, I'm actually going to be taking a lot more time to hear your feedback. So you're the ones who are going to help me determine what day and time those lives should be happening. You're going to help me figure out how often I should have seminars. I'm trying to decide, do I want to open up my entire vault to you all? And I have done many classes, seminars, sessions. I'm trying to decide how much of that should be accessible. And then beyond that, for the person who's like, well, that's great, but I really need you one-on-one, Shirley. I am, in the future, moving forward, limiting how many one-on-ones that I do. So the way it's working right now is I have my clients who are paying me quite well to get the one-on-ones. And then I'm going to have a certain amount from the Entrepreneur Exchange that, instead of paying my normal hourly rate, as long as you're part of the exchange, you can get, I think it's 45 minutes for $125, which is a massive deal when it comes to an hour of my time. So really, if you are on that track, you can be like $150 a month and have the hour or the 45 minutes and access to everything in the exchange. So I'm sharing it. I'm super excited about it. And if you want to be a part of helping to develop it, then you can visit. Just send me a message, actually. admin@WorkHARDaholics.com. All right. To learn more. Okay. I want to make sure I share that with you all because I'm super excited about that. Just like you, we're making big moves. There are lots of things that are happening all around about us. And I want to make sure that each of us has, if not an entire business, a side hustle. All right. I don't care. I always say Avon or paparazzi. I have done both at some point in time. It doesn't matter what it is, but you want to make sure you have some way of bringing in some type of income. Okay. I believe my time is up. Okay. All right. So until next time, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Stay hydrated. Good time.
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.